Hey, welcome to the Jason Rev Show with Marco again. This is our Q&A portion. We were asked some questions. We're also going to eat burritos. Big, huge looking burritos.
Q&A and B.
Q&A and B. So, yeah. If you're offended by this, well...
Cheers.
You try yours first.
It's, talking requires energy.
Yeah, we've already done over 40 minutes of stuff. It's going to be close to an hour. We got to eat.
They're good.
Is it good?
They're good.
Right.
We're going to make a point to try not to talk with our mouths full.
Mm-hmm.
But, the odd one might slip by. So. Okay. This was the Q&A portion.
Just the Q&A portion.
Q&A
So,
and B.
we reached out to people on social media to see if they had any questions. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to grab my phone. And I'm going to start by asking you a question, Marco. I'm going to take one more bite.
Take a bite.
Mm-hmm.
There's some spice in this one. Nice. It kind of just sort of soaks in after a little bit. Whew. Right on. So we got some good questions on there. We were taking a look. I don't think we're going to be able to answer all of them. Some of them are great questions and could require an entire episode just on their own.
Okay.
But let us
This
speak.
one, wants her season 4 of Discovery and favorite parts in Lower Deck. I haven't seen Star Trek Lower Deck. I know it's Star Trek Discovery.
And I
haven't
finished Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, you can...
I have seen all of Lower Decks.
Do you have a favorite part?
Of Lower Decks?
Yeah.
That final episode when... okay, spoilers, as always. So it's a cartoon, right? And it's like a funny take on the Next Generation era. But every once in a while, they'll throw in something that's very Star Trek and very deep. There's a character death.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I won't say more than that.
Spoil it, yeah.
I won't say more than that because you haven't seen it. But there's a character death at one point that's like, wow, okay, this universe is serious. This isn't just cartoony. Well, it's a cartoon. But, something to be taken with that. And also, we have some... classic Next Generation characters that show up.
Oh, nice. Is it their voice actors?
And voice actors are there.
Wow.
And there is some badass spaceship battling going on. That, all of a sudden, this cartoon that I'd seen so many episodes and it was funny and everything.
Yeah.
Still funny and still lighthearted, but all of a sudden it was like, oh, there are some consequences in this universe.
Nice. That question was asked, I forgot to say, that question was asked by Thomas from Timmins.
What up, Thomas from Timmins?
We have a deep question that we're not going to be able to get to tonight, but I will say what it is. It's from Lynette from BC.
Okay.
And her question is discuss opinions on gatekeeping in the communities. The communities I said we were going to talk about was Star Wars, Star Trek, Lego, and comics are 4 things to ask questions about. So it'll be, to get into that, that's probably going to be a whole episode itself.
It exists. It's there.
Yes. And we'd want to do a little more research and know that, just talking off the cuff, it wouldn't give the question justice, actually, if we just talk off the cuff.
I myself, I don't feel I've ever experienced it. So I don't know, if I'm going to speak on it, I'm sort of would be speaking right now at a kind of like a very high observational level. I think I might want to, dig a little bit into that and just sort of get different sides and whatnot.
Yes.
But definitely exists, and that could be a
whole other episode itself. Okay, thank you, Lynette, for asking.
Go back for more burrito.
Yeah. Next question is from Larry from Toronto. Larry's question. This will be more for you because I'm not really the Lego person, but I'll answer anyway. Mm-hmm. What Lego set from those 3 segments, Star Wars, Star Trek, and comics, would you like to see made?
Made?
Yeah, while you answer that, I am going to...
Okay. Made, wow. What I would like to see is... so there's... as far as comic books. So you get comic book... or comic character sets that are out there, right? Batman chasing the Joker or whatever. I would like to see some sets made out of iconic comic book stories or scenes, like straight out of the page, And I'll speak to one of the stories that means the most to me and really got me into comics was the Death of Superman story. I wasn't really into comics. I mean, you're a kid, you kind of, you read comics and everything, but I wasn't a comic kid until that story came out.
I get it.
And got into it. So yeah, I would like to see a Death of Superman. So I'm seeing like Superman and Doomsday, which is the villain that fights Superman. So those could be the minifigures. And then the minifigures. Superman would be like that.
Yeah, Doomsday would be pretty big.
Like that. And then the set itself could be like the city street in rubble from their battle.
And not from the Batman v Superman movie. Not that Doomsday.
From the comic
From the comics. The cool looking Doomsday with the...
From the comic book with the spikes and the white hair and the... Yeah, that. But yeah, like some scenes from... Iconic scenes from comics as a Lego set. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah. And I think, you've already got superhero-based Lego sets. So there's an audience for it. There's a market for it. Yeah. That would be mine. That would be mine. Now, for you, I know you're not really a Lego guy.
But I like to look at them.
There were... But let's say, is there a scene maybe from a movie or a book? Or is there something you would like to see recreated? The idea that you could take something home and put it together.
In the comics, the death of Captain America, where he's shot by Sharon Carter. I don't know if I'd... You know what I would like, though? I would like them to do a... I'm a Captain America fan. I got my mug. But there are a lot of Captain America figures, like minifigs.
Yep.
But I don't believe there are any, like from the comics, where Bucky took over as Captain America.
Oh, so not Winter Soldier.
Not the Winter Soldier, but
Bucky as
Captain America when he took over. He was given the shield and he took over for a while.
Yeah.
And just his costume. I liked his costume. And because I know they're probably going to make them of Sam as Captain America, because I'm assuming after the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier that Sam is eventually going to get the mantle and he's going to become Captain America. I think that's what the whole series is going to be, him becoming
leading up
Captain
to it.
America, becoming Captain America, taking on the mantle. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have Sam Captain America for quite a while, but I never got a Bucky minifig as Captain America. So I would like that. I'd like a scene. I can't think of anything specifically, but for the minifig, I'd like that.
It does.
Okay. And there was another one from Larry that was also Lego related. Yeah, it was a follow-up question. And related. Best Star Wars and comic themed Lego sets that have released. What's your favorite? Lego, Star Wars, and comic themed. I'm guessing there is no Star Trek Lego.
Not by Lego. There's it's Creo blocks, so another building set. They've put out some Star Trek sets. There's an Enterprise from the Abrams verse, or the Kelvin verse, I guess you'd say. So there's an Enterprise of that I have. There's a set from the original series of. There's a couple sets. One's the. I can't remember the Of Time or whatever it is. It's the one, and I can't remember the name of the episode, but it's that big stone portal. It's like a time tunnel that they go through. There's a set of that, and there is a set of. It just looks like it takes place in the engineering room of the original Enterprise. With a couple of, I think, like Scotty's got a sword, and there's some Klingons, and there's a fight set like that. So we've got, so they've done some sets there.
Well, I do believe the set you're referring to.
You got them?
Wow.
Which one?
The
give.
This, and I believe
this is exactly what I'm talking about.
And there's this.
Oh, geez, what was it called? Guardian of Forever. Oh, the Star Trek nerds are never going to let me live this down.
They're never going to. But so, I don't think many of them are going to watch anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, they will. Give them time.
They should. Tune in.
Yes. Actually, these are by Mega Blocks. So another building set. Not Creo. Creo does Transformers.
Okay.
And probably other stuff. Okay. But I'll say right now, one of my favorite Lego sets. I built it years ago, and I still kind of keep it out on display. It's Jabba's Palace. It was actually 2 separate sets. One set was Jabba's Palace, so like that iconic kind of like circle domey building.
Oh, yes.
And you got Jabba in there. You've got Han and Carbonite. You've got Bib Fortuna. You've got the slave dancers.
Oh yeah.
Salacious Crumb.
No slave Leia.
Does this have slave Leia? It has to have slave Leia. I can't. How can you have Jabba's Palace and not have slave Leia?
She wasn't always slave Leia.
No, because it comes with a Boosh figure. That's what it is. It comes with a Boosh figure. So that was one set, and then the second set was the Rancor. So it's the Rancor. It's the basement of Jabba's Palace. It's the Rancor cage. That came with Luke in the black outfit. That came with a Gamorrean guard for Eaton. And then you build the 2 sets, and then you can basically click the palace onto the Rancor pit, and you've got the whole set there.
Kind of like the Stranger's Thing one.
But it's weird because the Jabba's Palace, part of it kind of sticks out and it's not supported. So I actually dug into like the spare bricks box and created a support column for the part that hangs over. Because you got to take engineering into account when you're building a palace in the desert for your giant monster to eat those who piss you off. So yeah, that would be my favorite Star Wars Lego set. Comic book Lego set, the best or favorite?
Yes.
Oh wow, there's I've got. I think I would really like to see the Avengers Tower. I know there is one of the Avengers Tower. I don't have it myself. That seems pretty iconic. That seems pretty big. I think that would be a good one. I have some smaller sets. They're a lot of fun. But yeah, for comic books, I think I like the Avengers Tower. That's a pretty monumental build, I think.
If I were to choose a Star Wars one, probably end up being the Death Star.
Oh.
I mean that huge new.
Yeah.
That huge one.
Oh, or the Executor, the Super Star Destroyer.
Oh yeah.
If I rent a Lego, we'll see. But harder to get because once those things go out of circulation, like I'm beginning to discover Lego is an investment.
Yeah.
You buy the right set and let it sit somewhere for a couple of years, it'll triple in value. So all of a sudden that $800, it's like, oh no, you know what's another really good Star Wars one?
It's like Bitcoin, eh?
Oh jeez. Yeah, it's like Bitcoin. I don't have it. I've seen it. There's Bespin. There's the Cloud City of Bespin.
Really?
Comes with a little Slave 1, the Carbonite freezing chamber, the where Luke and Darth battle, the little junkyard where the Chewie discovers 3PO and the Ugnaughts are ripping them apart. That's another good one. That's another good one.
That was good. So
yeah.
That's a good answer. You go ahead and eat.
It took a lot out of me, and I require something.
I'm gonna look up the next question because it's hard to remember them. Hard to remember all the questions. James from I think Pickering. I don't know. I think he's still. Do you think we'll see a Batman Beyond movie featuring Michael Keaton? There's allegedly supposed to be a scene in the new Flash movie with him.
If they ever get around to it,
yeah,
are they going to do it? They keep talking about this Flash movie. But
they do, but yeah, that's the thing.
Then you get like, Snyder recuts and everything.
People are
kind
of
what's
going to
happen.
People are kind of upset.
The whole thing that happened with the
Ray Stevenson.
Yep. Cyborg. So I don't know. Would it be totally cool to see an older Michael Keaton playing an older Bruce Wayne? Of course it would be. Of course it would be. But I wonder if they'll actually get around to a live action movie. First of all, Batman Beyond as a franchise. Okay, there's people that grew up watching it. It was one of the cartoons that was on.
Yeah.
And if you're, into like comic books or whatever, it's there. Would it carry over to a full-fledged its own movie?
Is it going to be a movie that's going to get $1 billion?
which is what the goal is, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing these franchise movies,
Yeah.
your goal is $1 billion every time. So I don't know if it would make it, but my own counter argument to that though is you might have said the same thing with Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And that movie was amazing.
It was.
I know not everybody's into animated movies, but it was just a great all-around movie. Never mind the fact that it's a cartoon. And the soundtrack, chef kiss. Mwah. Soundtrack's amazing. Great hip-hop vibe soundtrack to it. By the same guy who did the Black Panther soundtrack, I believe.
Ludwig? Ludwig. Who also does Mandalorian. Ludwig did... Oh, or did you mean... Or was it Kendrick Lamar?
Thank you.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah.
Yep. I should really do more investigation into these things I love. But anyway, yeah, that guy. So yes, but I think there's too many other broader DC stories that they will probably focus on before they were to focus on something like that.
Does Keaton want to come back for a full movie?
Does Keaton want to come back for a full
Keaton
movie?
will come back for maybe a cameo.
You know, maybe.
I mean,
he
money
would.
talks, man. But
Maybe he would, but you know, if he's going to keep being the Vulture in the Marvel, you know,
true.
Is there any kind of obligation there that would keep him from,
Yeah.
specifically doing the other companies, the distinguished competition?
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see it. Side note, they are there is a new Batman '89 comic book that they previewed, based on the Keaton Batman.
Yeah.
Sort of furthering that storyline. So that's some preview images of that came out recently. Yeah. So if you are a comic book reader or you want to visit your friendly local,
your local comic book store, or contact them and get curbside
pickup. All the good
whatever
ones
it is
do.
now, whatever it is now, and yes. Do I think? No, I don't think it's going to happen. To be honest with you, wishful thinking. Do I really think it's going to happen? No.
I mean,
I think different regimes. The only way it can happen. The only way it's going to happen is if it gets made. He's in the Flash, and that scene kills, and there's fucking social media, and all it is everybody talks about, and. And it's like that hot
So
point.
we could see it as a cameo or as a smaller role in a larger picture.
And then if they decide that if it hits, yes, then maybe they'll look into, because they don't investing that much in something, it's a lot.
Well,
then you got to find where's it going to fit in the slate. They don't want to confuse their viewers with all these multiple.
Well, we've got a Robert Pattinson Batman movie that's going to come out, and who knows what's going to happen there.
That's right.
if it tanks, if it's a stinker, then
is it going to be the Batman and Robin of
or is it going to be the next Batman Begins? Is it going to be amazing? And then it's like, okay, that's our direction.
That's right.
Sign them up for another 3.
They had a Batman friggin' 2 years ago, and and the Snyder Cut's going to come out. And
it's going to have more Batman.
And it's going to have more Affleck.
Bruce?
It's going to have Affleck Batman. Yeah, it's going to have Affleck. He's talking to the Joker. That leads us to the next.
Really liked Affleck. I know we're kind of starting to take direction.
I personally
liked Affleck as the Batman.
I think Affleck overall was my favorite combination of Bruce Wayne and Batman. I think he was both. I think he was the best of both worlds.
Yep. And the action sequences with him as Batman were dynamic, high energy, and like the Christian Bale one. Yeah. That was very much gritty and in reality.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So the Affleck fight scenes might have been are more over the top, right?
Cartoonish,
they may say, but it's a comic book and it's Batman, so I can go with that.
And he got yoked. Brother got yoked for that role, man. He got what Batman needs to be to fight these guys. Sorry, Michael Keaton, you ain't fighting 200-pound friggin' people just doing your exercise, whatever it is he did with that hanging upside down like he's a.
He hung upside down.
Yeah, how does that?
if the training Bruce Wayne does is the training I can do,
yeah,
you need to do better.
And he weighs probably less than both of us, so that's the thing. How is he fighting it? I get it that Jack Napier's people weren't big, huge. Well, that one day, that one kung fu jumping karate guy that.
Oh, okay. Who did all the thing? Yeah. But again, I mean, the '89 Batman. There's nothing but love for it.
No. There is, and Keaton was great. Keaton was great in that role. I mean,
that was really the first live action Batman we had since Adam West.
Since '66 Adam West, which I loved as a kid. Don't get me wrong. I cannot watch it now. I find it very difficult to watch now.
It's silly now, right?
Too cartoonish. Yeah. But so that leads to a question from Paul. I think Paul from Mississauga. Once again, congratulations on the engagement. Yeah. So
I don't know if the horns are the proper engagement congratulations, but may your union be a metal union.
Yes. But his question, one of his questions, he had two. I'm gonna have to read up the other one, but he wants to know if you've seen the Snyder Cut trailer, and are you looking forward to seeing the Snyder Cut?
Okay. Yes, saw the trailer pretty recently, just the last day or so. It kind of was sticking around for a while before I got to it. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I did. And I mean, part of it is, yes, for its faults, I liked Justice League. Okay? I mean, maybe it had a misstep here or there, but overall, I enjoyed Justice League. I like the takes on the characters. So if you want to give me more of that, and you want to give me, extended on that, I'm all for it. I love the idea of seeing Darkseid. I would, obviously, I think what they were going for with the original cut was you want to try to set up this big bad. But the only problem was I don't even know if they mention him by name.
Oh, friggin'
in Justice League.
Steppenwolf?
Well, no, Darkseid.
Oh, no, Darkseid was not. They
mention Apocalypse.
Yeah, they did not.
They don't mention him. So if you're setting up a big bad, that's fine, but you got to give us a hint of, give his name or a glance or something.
Yeah.
And Darkseid is, my opinion's always been like, Darkseid is a more badass version of Thanos. Right? Thanos wanted to wipe out half the universe. Darkseid was like, no, I want it all.
I want you all dead. Yeah.
I want it all. And I'm not about, creating balance so everybody can live happy lives. It's like, no, I want you all to be under my boot heel. So it just makes him more of an evil, badass character who can go toe-to-toe with Superman.
Yeah, that is...
Right? And I think Steppenwolf got pretty much beat down once Soups showed up on the scene. He
did. He
got
whooped.
There was no fight there.
It was like
whooped. Superman was distracted saving people, and
once
Steppenwolf's tossing around the rest of the league. But once Superman showed up, it was just sort of like,
It was like, I'm going to whoop your ass. Yeah, he did not. He couldn't compete. He could whoop the rest of the Justice League's ass pretty well, but
once Cal showed up, that was done. So yeah, short answer. I liked what I saw, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll see more of that movie.
Yeah, I'll watch. It's 4 hours, I believe, or something like that.
I didn't know it was that long.
I heard, yeah. Ooh. They're originally going to do a 4-hour. And you hear all these things. They're originally going to do a 4-hour TV show. They're going to do one episode every night, and then they said they're going to do a movie. They said it was 4 hours. I don't know. I mean,
we need to bring back intermissions for I'm all for a 4-hour movie.
Well, it's going to be on. You're watching it.
Let
home.
a guy.
You're watching it at home. You can pause it.
Take a pee.
You're gonna be watching it on Crave, so you can pause it.
Well, yes, pandemic world. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
this is true.
I don't mind. And you know what? I'll say this: that I don't think that Zack Snyder's DC Universe films have been the best. I really liked his earlier films in his career. I enjoyed the zombie one there, Dawn of the Dead, I believe it was.
Oh, I love that movie.
I enjoyed the 300. I enjoyed The Watchmen. I know it's very polarizing. A lot of people do. I really enjoyed The Watchmen.
Yeah.
I thought it was done very well. There was actually a version of it that came out that had the movie, and it was interlaced with the comic book. Like it had the, how in the, have you ever read
the Black Sails?
The Black Sails, yeah. It was interlaced with a cartoon of the Black Sails comic. So it was kind of cool. It was, so I enjoyed it. I understand why they switched the squid at the end to a nuclear missile, because, you know, or a bomb.
How our audience is going to go
a huge giant
interdimensional
squid,
space squid.
But then the Watchmen, the TV show, did it, and it was awesome. But, you know, I get it. I get that creative change. That one didn't bother me.
I mean, sometimes you have to... It's a movie, right? And movies are a different medium than the print page.
Yeah, but
some things
really
don't
enjoyed
work.
it. Yeah,
I really
enjoyed
costumes that work really well on the printed page.
As we've seen in many of look at WandaVision,
right?
Yeah, I mean, sure, Scarlet or Wanda. She's never been name dropped as Scarlet Witch yet. Sure, Scarlet Witch looked great in her costume, but that's great as in, that's, you know, Vision would want to take her to the bedroom with her in that costume, not great. Not great as in it looked like a great costume to be wearing out while fighting criminals.
Yes.
But yeah, I haven't been the biggest Zack Snyder fan, but I am looking forward to it because I want to see him, for better or worse, I want to see his completed vision to see what he did. Because, you know, everybody shits on Justice League, and people... It's just a weird world because people, besides, you know, what that idiot Joss Whedon did outside, like that stuff, I'm talking as a filmmaker, people loved the Avengers, the first Avenger. People loved it. Yep. Age of Ultron, not so much, but I think Age of Ultron is going to be one of those ones that in 10 years after it's come out, people are going to be like, yeah, because now with it tying into different things like WandaVision and people rewatching it, they're like, you know what? It's not as bad as I always enjoyed it, but a lot of people didn't. Yeah. It got a lot of hate. So it's just funny that in the world, people hated it's how it's flipped. Like, Joss is done. And Snyder was almost like, people hated Snyder's stuff, or like people did not like his DC, his version of DC stuff, right? And now people are so looking forward to it. The Snyder Cut, they're like, oh my god, get this! We need this Snyder Cut. And I'm just wondering, how are those people going to feel if it sucks? Because I didn't really like Man of Steel.
No, I get that.
I didn't really.
Man of Steel. I mean, like Superman's my guy.
Yeah.
And Man of Steel.
I mean, I might.
A lot of people got bent out of shape because he killed.
I don't care about that.
But that's actually, if you're into the lore, as it were, that's actually part of the story.
And it's not. I don't dislike Henry Cavill as Superman.
I think he looks great.
Yeah, but
if I were to have one piece of advice,
Christopher Reeve.
Well, Christopher
that's
Reeve.
hard.
If I were to have one piece of advice for the DC movie making universe, they have to get away from these climactic battles that happen in dark, cloudy environments.
Yeah.
It's a superhero movie. The superhero battle is like, that's the special effect. That's the scene. That's what it's all about. Yeah, everything else that leads up to it and makes it good, like character and story.
Yeah.
But they've got these big battles, right?
Yeah.
One thing that Marvel did was like all of their battles pretty much, I think, take place during the day.
Huh.
You can see what's going on. And when I think of some of the better scenes in the DC movies, they take place in the light. You get a lot of climactic battles, and unfortunately Wonder Woman was terrible for this, because both movies, the final climactic battle scenes, take place in dark, stormy, cloudy environments. It's great because it makes the lasso pop, because it glows, but other than that, you got a hard time sometimes keeping track of what's going on the screen. Justice League kind of suffered from the same thing. They were in that, it's being terraformed into a new apocalypse. It's all cloudy and dark, and you don't see a lot there. The scenes that really worked for me in those movies were the ones that take place in the light. The Wonder Woman movies, anything that happened on Themyscira, on the island during the day.
The first 3/4 of Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Amazing.
No Man's Land.
No Man's Land.
One of the best.
Takes place during the day.
I'm a guy. I got goosebumps. I can just imagine.
Absolutely.
I can just imagine a young woman or a girl or any just watching that and like, finally, one's made for us. Finally, because we've had a million made for us.
Absolutely.
And we still whine when there's one made for us, like Captain Marvel. But hey. I don't whine, but
I don't get how you can watch Captain Marvel and just that universal theme of you get knocked down
and get back up. That scene is amazing.
And I completely understand and I support that. For women especially, that's something that they haven't seen before, and that's empowering. And I understand that means something for them. But I had goosebumps when that scene happened
as well, and I don't get all these people.
Okay,
I don't get the hate.
I enjoyed that. That got me into it.
And the music is like our era's music. Like, I don't get how people didn't. I don't get it.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't like. I'm just a girl. See, like.
And then just one final thought. Also, my favorite fight scene in Justice League was when Superman comes back to life and takes on the Justice League. Yeah. And again, it takes place during the day, and you can see what's going on. And it's
cool when the Flash is running, and he's
and then he just gives him that eyeball.
And it's like, oh shit, this guy can go at my level.
That, oh shit face.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Absolutely.
I agree. And Paul had one more question. The last question is going to be, what was it again? The sequel. He goes, now with the sequel, Star Wars sequel trilogy coming out, how do we compare the prequels to her? How do we, what do we, kind of what we answered on our other one.
But if I'm going to directly compare the two, I think the prequel trilogy is a better trilogy than the sequel trilogy. Because, say what you will about the prequel trilogy, there is a through line. There is a plan where it's like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3.
Yeah.
There's a plan. The sequel trilogy, unfortunately, really feels like 3 different movies made by 3 different people who, maybe emailed one another what the storylines were supposed to be, and then that was it. I remember when the second one came out, when The Last Jedi came out, and there was very disjointed from the first one. But I remember saying to people, look, this is Disney's billion-dollar baby. There is no way that they don't have a giant board somewhere that's got this all mapped out, and that third movie is going to bring everything together, because you don't do that with your billion-dollar franchise, just throwing it at the dartboard. And unfortunately, my opinion, when Return of Skywalker came out, that's exactly what it was.
They retconned everything that people didn't like in The Last Jedi. So they had to retcon things in Rise of Skywalker that people didn't like. It's like they had JJ, they had Rian Johnson. Very polarizing film. Very polarizing film.
I have serious doubts that when they were writing The Force Awakens, they were also writing, and this is how the trilogy is going to end.
No.
The Emperor's going to have come back out of nowhere.
No.
And blah, 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 blah. There's no way that, when they were doing Force Awakens, that they had that as the final act.
I don't think they had, we're going to build up Snoke to be this big bad, and then we're going to have him killed with a Kylo Ren, he couldn't even sense. He can sense it. He can create them to make them a divergence in the Force or whatever it is, but he can't sense that Buddy's doing this and going to turn on the lightsaber.
Yeah. So, but the prequel trilogy, again, like we talked about before, sure, they might have their faults, but at least it's a true trilogy. Yes. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and there's threads that go throughout.
Yes, that go throughout, and also
one extended story.
And connect to 6, which makes it the Star Wars saga.
Yeah.
Sure, there were characters from that saga that show up in 7, 8, and 9, but besides 7, they were kind of the same, like Han Solo returned to back what he, I get that. I understood Han Solo returning back to being a smuggler, and Chewbacca with him, because, that's his ride or die. And Leia going back to being a politician because that's what they knew. It's like they lost a child. They didn't, for better or worse, they lost a child.
And that can often cause a couple to split.
Yes, and then they return to what they both know. So that I completely get that. That one I always forgave. Because it was fun, and I liked the new characters. I loved how they set up Rey. She was really, was very good at, very skilled really quickly, but I didn't hate it because she was a scrapper. She had to fight her whole life, right?
Yep.
So she was a fighter. You know, she used that staff great. The lightsaber, using the Force itself. Hey, she's had to fight, you know, and then it showed that what her lineage was in the end. So
yeah,
she had strong lineage. Did I mind in the end that she was a Palpatine? No, actually, it didn't. That didn't bother me. Palpatine coming back, he was But did I mind that she was a Palpatine? Well, that was the one thing in it. I was like, oh, that's actually I didn't think of that.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because.
But again, they throw you that curveball in the second movie.
Yeah,
where it's like, oh, your parents were junk
that's
traders.
the thing. Like that's the thing where it was like Ryan
and then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, actually no, you're the
they
daughter of the biggest bad in the
because
galaxy.
they didn't intend for that's
again.
They didn't sit down like they didn't have
an overarching plan, or if they did, they sacrificed it halfway through, and then tried
to trust in Ryan Johnson. That's the thing. I don't know what did. Ryan Johnson and fucking Looper. That's about it before that. And the thing is, what did he do that deserved? Like J.J. Abrams has done a lot of stuff. Like he's got a resume. J.J. Abrams has a resume.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson, Looper, and another maybe another thing. And sure, I love Knives Out, but that's after. Yeah. So that's.
Yeah. So, prequel versus sequel.
Yeah, prequel. I mean,
prequel.
OT, prequel.
Rogue One.
A lot of other Disney-related stuff. I mean, Rogue One.
I mean, you can get into the animated series and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Well, that stuff. Yeah, like
know.
that stuff. But that stuff it's told serialized, so it's hard to compare.
It's hard to compare a 2
like
hour,
even the
2.5 hour movie.
Even the Mandalorian,
versus,
you can't. I won't. The television stuff and the stuff that I won't compare it to. But how many? There was 2 films. 2. Yeah, there's Rogue One and Solo, right? I even like Solo more than the. Yeah,
Solo's
so
fun. I rewatched it for the first
Solo
time.
is fun.
Like
So it goes.
a
It
couple
goes.
months ago,
Yeah.
and it's
It goes OT, prequels, Rogue One,
One,
Solo, The Force Awakens, and then
Awakens.
the other 2 sequel films, which I liked. Like I do like Rey. I like Rey. You know, I like Rey. I like Poe. I like Finn, and I wish they would have given them a little bit more respect and did a thorough. You know, had a plan for each and followed through with that plan, and the actors were great. Great actors, but
Force Awakens. I mean, Force Awakens was kind of divisive because some people were like, "Hey, it's a throwback to the original movie, and I like it," and some people were like, "Hey, this is way too much like the original movie.
Yeah.
Why did I pay my $17?" But the one thing when I walked out of that movie,
I went 4 fucking times.
the one thing that I said when I walked out of that movie was, you know what? I like these new characters, and I want to see their adventures in the galaxy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that never seemed to pan out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't. Yeah. They didn't. And, you know, they're there. It's the end of the Skywalker saga. You know, if they try, I don't know if I want them to try to retcon, kick it out and make it an alternate universe. I don't know if I want that. Just go make movies in other parts of the damn universe. And, you know, we had our Luke Skywalker friggin' kick-ass Luke Skywalker scene. Do you want him to come back? Are you hoping? Are you
Mandalorian?
Yeah, Mandalorian. Are you hoping?
As much as I loved that scene,
Yeah.
okay, I think that if they went with it, and now we've got the adventures of Luke and Grogu, I think that's weak. I think that, like, don't get me wrong, if you want to come back to it in like a season or whatever, and somehow have another story with them or something, that's fine. But with Mandalorian, I would be very content with. That was the 2-season arc for Grogu.
Yeah.
And now that's done. And now it's
Focusing
Mando and what his next thing is.
yeah.
Maybe it's baby Chewbacca.
Or
baby Jawa. Or whatever baby it is.
Or he's going and helping Mandalore, you know, because we're gonna have
now we have that whole story.
We're gonna have the armorer.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the armor is probably back at some point in time.
As much as this little guy is adorable and lovable, and he's not going to go away.
No.
You can't look at that cash cow. Look at that adorable little money making machine. He's going to come back in some form.
I'd like to see if they're gonna have them at all, don't have a training montage. Say on Dagobah. You know, as a training where he's doing what Luke, you know, lifting up and stuff like that, and Luke isn't. We don't even need to see him. We just need to see the black suit from the back with the clothes, so that we don't need to see the CGI. We don't need to see.
Can we have Grogu running around with a pack and Luke's on his back?
or he's lifting. Yeah, that's it exactly. That's interacting. Yes.
It's gonna be like, yes, go and jump. Now lift this rock.
Yes, Well, no. It won't. You know.
As far as the Mandalorian TV show, I'd be happy with. Let's see his next arc. Let's see his next story.
I agree.
We can have
Luke
and Grogu maybe come back, and with Luke, love Mark Hamill, of course, but I am a strong proponent of let's just get new actors.
That's why I don't want it back. That's why I don't want it back because they
I don't need a CG Mark Hamill anymore.
No.
Whether it's Sebastian Stan or whoever, you get an artist, you get an actor, you get the makeup people, you get the hair people, and make it happen. And let's just get actors.
Yeah, that's why I don't really want to see. He did what I needed Luke to do. He did what Last Jedi didn't do. That gave me the Luke Skywalker that I always wanted to see.
Yeah.
That's
fully
why I'm happy.
Powered, peak Luke.
Yeah. Not a force projection, and not a force ghost.
Did he stop for a haircut on the way back to this planet?
Yeah, and you're like, damn, no, he's a force projection.
In his mind's eye, he sees himself as a lot cleaner. All right.
He wasn't as scruffy and dirty.
You know, I didn't know that. What is it?
That's vanity.
Vanity, thank you. Vanity was a trait of a Jedi.
Yeah, Luke, you're not supposed to, let us see. No.
All right, where are we at for
questions?
What's our time at?
I think we've exceeded the normal time.
All right.
Wow.
What are we at?
41 minutes.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, this is long.
All right.
42 minutes. Well, thank you. If you're still following, click subscribe, click like. Thank you for watching this whole thing. And I'm sure we'll do other Q&As, and I'm sure we'll have Marco back.
Great questions. I'd love to. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for being the first guest for this 3-episode arc.
A trilogy.
That is it.
A good trilogy.
Yes,
that's
a damn good trilogy. Damn right. It goes out strong. And, stop hating on Ewoks, people. Have a good day.